Ang TNC po ay nakikiisa sa sambayan ng Pilipino para sa isang mapayapang bagong Pasko.
Ang bagong Pasko ay simbolo ng bagong pag-asa. Ito ay isang pagkakataon upang ating mapagnilayan ang mga kaganapan sa ating buhay.
Ang diwa ng bagong Pasko ay hindi mararamdaman sa mga palamuti o karangyaan sa ating kapaligiran, kundi sa alab ng pag-ibig sa ating mga dibdib.
Lahat tayo ay nakaranas ng hirap nitong taon na to. Dahil sa pandemya, nawalan tayo ng oportunidad. Kahit na anong mangyari, pinipilit pa din natin makapagbigay ng saya sa iba. Yan ang diwa ng bagong Pasko.
Para sa akin, ang bagong Pasko ay hindi concerned sa handaan o sa mga regalo. Sharing, giving, taking care of each other. Sana simula ngayong bagong Pasko, ganun na lahat tayo.
Maraming salamat po. The New Channel, maligayang Pasko.
Christmas is always a reminder to have an attitude of gratitude. And that means sharing the love and appreciating everything that matters to you.
Christmas is a celebration of life.
And let us all be grateful that we are enjoying God's gift of life.
Ang bagong Pasko ay simple at payak, nakasentro sa ating pamilya at sa ating Panginoon.
I want to remind everyone that we should treasure the connection that we have. We have our friends, our family, and of course, Jesus Christ.
Para sa akin, ang diwa ng Pasko hindi nagbabago kahit kailan. Ito ay panahon ng pagmamahalan, pag-iibigan. Walang makakatalo sa pagmamahal na binigay sa atin ng Panginoon.
Maraming salamat po, The New Channel. Maligayang Pasko!
Ang tunay na diwa ng bagong Pasko ay hindi lang paghahangad ng mga regalo o mga bagong bagay. Ito ay ang pagpapahalaga sa mga bagay na meron na tayo at ang matutunang ibahagi ito sa mga nangangailangan.
Maraming salamat po, The New Channel.
Dapat din natin tandaan ang totoong diwa ng Pasko, si Kristo Jesus. Noon, ngayon, at magpakailanman.
Ang bagong Pasko para kanako, dili ang masigarbong pagsaulog, kundi ang pag-ambit o ginabang sa mga taong mas nanginahanglan ng panahon sa pandemya.
Ang diwa ng bagong Pasko ay ang pag-iingat sa ating mga sarili, pagiging ligtas sa kapamakan, at pagpapabuti sa ating kalusugan.
Maraming salamat po, The New Channel. Maligayang Pasko.
Maraming salamat, The New Channel. Maligayang Pasko.
Ngayong bagong Pasko, isabuhay natin at maging saksi sa kaganapan sa Belen.
What does the new Christmas mean to me? It means reconnecting. Reconnecting with the people you love, the people you care about, the people you have not spoken with in a long time, that always made you happy.
We should never forget, Christ is still the reason for the season.
The new Christmas for us is focusing on the basic unit of society, which is your family, and virtual togetherness with friends and relatives.
And of course, sharing your blessings to others in need.
Celebrate Christmas with full of gratitude.
Maraming salamat sa New Channel! Maraming salamat sa New Channel!
Ang Pasko ay tungkol sa pagmamahal mo sa pamilya mo at pagiging mabuti sa kapwa.
Christmas is the season of giving, but you cannot give if your hands are closed. So open your hands and your hearts and give. And your open hands will receive so much more.
Maraming salamat sa The New Channel! Maligayang Pasko!
Christmas is the season of giving. It is best spent with our families. But let us not also forget that this is the celebration of the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Para sa akin, ang diwa ng bagong Pasko ay ang pagkakaroon ng mas madaming oras para sa ating mga pamilya.
Maraming salamat sa New Channel. Maligayang Pasko!
Christmas is always about sharing and caring, loving ourselves, and loving others.
Ang bagong Pasko para sa akin, malayo man tayo sa isa't isa, ang pagmamahal ay atin pa rin maipadarama. Maligayang Pasko po at manigong bagong taon sa inyong lahat.
sa labi mo'y naglaon na ang iyong tuwa at saya, napalitan ng kaba. Nagtatanong kung may pag-asa pa. Ang hamon ng panahon ngayon, tayo'y pinaglayo ng pagkakataon. Ngunit ikaw nag-iisa, huwag ka ng mga lamba. May kasama ka kahit nasan ka pa. Malayo man malapit din, ang Pasko'y darating pa rin. May luha man may kitinig, basta tayo'y magkapiling. Sa mundong nagdidilim, tala niya'y magnidinig. Ang pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan na bagong Pasko. Sabihin mo ang bagong umaga, sa pagkakatapay bumangon ka. Sa Paskong darating, pangarap ay tuloy pa rin. Kapayapaan ang maghahari sa atin. Malayo man malapit din, ang Pasko'y darating pa rin. May luha man may ngiti, basta tayo'y magkapiling. Sa mundong nagdidilim, tala niya'y magnidinig. Ang pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan ng bagong Pasko. Kahit na magkalayo, ikaw ang laging nasa puso. Kahit nasaan ka pa, tama pa rin ang pagsinta. Ang pagsinta, malayo man malapit din, ang Pasko'y darating pa rin. May luha man may ngiti, basta tayo'y magkapiling. Sa mundong nagdidilim, tala niya'y magnidinig. Ang pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan na palayo man malapit din. Ang Pasko'y darating pa rin. May luha man may ngiti, basta tayo'y magkapiling. Sa mundong nagdidilim, tala niya'y magnidinig. Ang pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan na bagong Pasko. Pagmamahal sa puso mo, ang diwan na bagong Pasko.
The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the new channel. Here to help you see the new you, the new Christmas. It is 8 days before Christmas, and I am excited. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, your host to this wonderful program, the HR Hotline. I'm so glad all my friends are here. Donald, my cousin who is in Saudi, is watching. Josie, my dear friend and former office mate, she's watching. Jennifer, I miss you and you should be a sponsor in the 5th season. Grace Moniz Decena is here. Maricor, please, Christmas muna, ubus na. I am so well, and there are claims that sometimes we say and we claim it. I think I take a lot of serpentina, insulin, and all the fruits that I take. But one thing that keeps me a little bit well and happy is the supplement. Of course, I take vitamin C, and of course, the complete vitamins. Okay, and Josie, I just hope you share this with your friends so that we can have a very nice conversation this afternoon. But I would like to start. Um, I will having I will be having a break after Saturday. I would like to invite all of you to be with us on Saturday. That will be the end of season episode, and I have Jairo Mazuda from DNR, and it will be a nice topic. And I asked permission from our producer Lloyd Luna and Apple Manansala if I can take a break. And immediately, usually after a season, you take a break. Kasi naman, it's Christmas. And how many years I've been here in Manila? This is the first time that I'm going to spend Christmas in Manila, where I will now consider myself a resident. I was here 1977, so help me count it. Anybody can count how many years I've been here in Manila? So I am a resident of Parañaque and a parishioner of Malate. And before, I used to work in Makati. So that's my life. So I will miss my mom, of course. And of course, I will cry a lot that I will not be home. But I would like to enjoy my Christmas here. For one, my plants, and I will show it later. It takes a lot of time to prepare for this three times a week show. I was in the garden because I will deliver 3 of my beautiful plants to a friend for sale. She's going to pay for it, and then I have to change for this show. So I really would like to enjoy my Christmas and my New Year's weeks me time, me time. I think this is an advice for all those who are enjoying their sweet time as a retiree. Of course, I am still very, very much engaged. I already have webinars starting January. I already have schedules of consultancy, but I would like to enjoy. Even PMAP, I think the staff are already on a Christmas break. And you must have this. Now, talking about Christmas, give me around 3 minutes, and I would like you to join me. You listen, Jen and Grace. Before we do, we have a very nice concern today. But before we do that, were you able to listen the ID of TNC? Okay. Of course, come January, it will not be there anymore. If you notice, I was in my Christmas, what do you call this, attire, but I was mentioning of ano ang kaganapan sa Belen. You know, this morning, I received in my post, in my social media, a post from my nephew of Saint Joseph. Oh, this is the year of Saint Joseph. And the Virgin Mary riding a donkey, going into, at the background, looks like Bethlehem. And you know what I was trying to think about? Who is this donkey? What a blessed donkey! What was the feeling? So that was what I was mentioning, Grace and Josie, and who are here, and Ophel. Ano yung kaganapan sa Belen? Of course, there was Jesus. Of course, there is, when you talk about Jesus, it should always be in the present tense. And the Virgin Mother. And you know, somebody was singing Ave Maria after giving birth. For all the mothers here, you know how painful it is to give birth. But you know, I have pets. And I talk with them. And they respond to me. Diba? Josie, 43 years na ako sa Manila. Oo nga. Residente na ako sa Manila. But you know, you can never bring out the barrio in me. Anyway, going back. Ano kaya yung feeling ng lambs? Ano kaya yung feeling ng baka? Ng cow? Kasi nandun yun eh. Ng horse? Kasi it was a stable. Now, sabi natin si Jesse, ano ba to? Why are you thinking of were the animals thinking? The shepherds. They were roused from their sleeps and they went there. And we are all shepherds. We are all shepherds. We were informed. This is Advent. We have the novena, the Simbang Gabi. Then we are going to the nativity scene. Ano kaya yung feeling? Of course, exaltation, happiness, and all. Diba? So, yan muna. I would like to leave that because those are the things that sometimes I think about when I am gardening. Blessed are the animals who were there, and blessed were the shepherds. Of course, the angels, all of them were there, hosts of angels. What was in their mind? You know, when we celebrate Christmas, dapat ganun. And dapat ganun kasi it's so difficult to send gifts. There is a regulation now that you can only party hanggang 5. Diba? So, I would like to share that with everybody. I am not a priest. I am not giving a sermon. But I would just like to share with my dear friends who are here. Yes. Remember my talk on servant leadership where I compared us as leaders to the shepherd of a flock. Yes, Grace. Yes, Grace. Kasi the pandemic made us think of, parang it's a paradox, it's an irony that we are celebrating something. So the celebration is actually in us. And what is it that we are going to think about? Think. So, yeah, I'm sure. I would like us after this, let's have conversation and you can PM me and like we can call each other and think about that. You know, my dear friend Femeric Kabantak, sometimes we have a lot of things to talk, but there are times na nagmumukha kaming tertulya ni Jose Rizal. We talk about sensible things. And I love it. And I love it. Josie knows that. Ami knows that. Even before, of course, you talk about the weather, you talk about what the government is doing, but there are times that you talk about something that is deep, that will be developing you. So that is actually my Christmas message for all. Diba? Kasi next week, magbe-break muna ako. So para bang let Christmas be something that you discern and something that the Christmas focus on the baby Jesus, focus on faith, hope, and charity and everything. But what is it? Ano yung kaganapan doon na may insight sa atin? That's why I was telling that. Ano ang kaganapan sa Belen? Diba? Diba? Say, you are preparing food. Everybody's busy. Doon sa kaganapan, what is the insight that you are getting? You are preparing for a wedding. You are preparing for the Noche Buena. What is it? What is your role? What is it that will make you grow? What are the learnings that you are going to get from it so that you will grow? And later on, you will really be changed. Okay. Ano ang kaganapan? And that is our topic for today. And I want everybody to Edgar, you are here. Thank you very much. This is a true story just this morning. I have here a list of problems and concerns of my students in ECOP and PMAP. But this is a concern. Sabi ko, can I mention the name? Pwede naman. This is actually a concern of Maribel. I don't know if she's here now. Because this morning I was asking her to join us and she told me, Sir, I'm busy. Why? Sabi ko, I am now in the police station. Listen to this. Because I am reporting a robbery in our office. Okay. Before we continue, this is what we call business abuse. Diba? Business abuse. I have that in my work ethics webinar. And what is the first one in business abuse is actually stealing. And stealing is not only yung product. Stealing can be time. We will discuss that. I would like to hear a lot from you. Yung they not on time or lackadaisical or procrastinating, so you're stealing time. The other one is you're stealing a thought, an idea, your plagiarism, or something that you copy. Then the last one is actually you steal something from the office. So I asked Maribel to tell me what happened. His boss who went abroad and came back December 1 was trying to open the what do you call it, the vault. You know, the vault. He cannot open it. So that December 1, what that day na 2 weeks na. So they were trying how to open it. When they opened it 3 days ago, $500,000 was already gone, and there was a hole at the back. And then, so because the boss was not always going to the office, I can just imagine. He just came from Europe, so he just went there to see if everything is okay, and then went back, and then was working from home, and then came back last time. All the expensive wines and liquor were gone. So I asked, was there a forcible entry? None. So I asked, is that an in-shop job? Yes. So I asked, what did you do as an HR? Reported it to the police. And then they have a suspect. And the suspect is not anymore coming to the office. So I asked, what did you do? She issued a, what do you call this? A notice to explain why he's not coming back to the office, and she actually brought it to the residence, and then the one who received it is the wife, and the wife informed her that the husband is not coming home anymore. They set up a CCTV, and then they found out that the husband came home at around 7 o'clock the other day. So that is the situation. An inside job of a robbery. So let us try to discuss it. We have here Ed, Ophel, Josie, Grace, and then let's try to uh, share this so that they can, and then of course Maricor and Jennifer. What are your thoughts for business abuse, which is stealing? Can I ask your thoughts and comments on this? You know, while waiting for the posts from our Maria Louie is here. Hello. Hello, my dear friend Louie. Ay, naku, Louie. Pakinig ka kasi pwede yan marami na mangyayari sa inyo. When I was there in Bacolod, I can see all the items just there in the warehouse. So, pilferage can be one. Okay. So, ang sabi ko kay Josie, alam mo may kasalanan ka rin yan. But you know, here, sir, I came here 2 years ago. But the guy was here 5 years ahead, 2 years ahead of me. Kasi one problem there is actually your sourcing and your recruitment. HR is the one privileged to letting people come in and then ensuring that the privilege of the people joining the organization, ensuring that there is trust, confidence, and what you call this? You think that you will be safe. So that is actually the problem. What are your thoughts on this? Of having, what do you call this? Somebody from within the organization actually stealing. Okay. I'm waiting for your comments. I'm waiting for your comments on this. And I would like this to be thorough. See, Ophel is here, but Ophel is a Wonder Woman and the former chairman, the immediate past chairman of the Philippine Society for Talent Development, and she's on learning and development. Ophel, what do you see? A sensitive concern, especially if it concerns an employee that you have trusted. Yes, Ophel. Can you ang concern ko sa iyo, Ophel, that you can share with us, ano yung learning and development gaps na dapat gawin niya? Kasi, of course, what happened is already there. And there, this is actually what you call, it's a, what do you call this? A court, a labor, an industry concern. But let us make it holistic na, kasi pwedeng pamarisan, it can be emulated that other people may see that, it's just okay. It's just okay. Alam mo, ang mga okay lang nito, pardon, yung sometimes, di ba, HR or anybody in the organization, there is a party and you order more so that you can bring it home. Ha, ha, ha. That's a joke. But that is actually stealing. Di ba? Or sometimes when I have that prayer of, you love things too much. Di ba? There are some employees there that your children graduated using the papers and the pencils coming from the office. So this is actually business abuse. So anong dapat gawin? I hope there is an attorney here who can tell us. Kasi di ba hindi naman maganda as HR na mayroon ka naman suspect. Then you really appoint kasi di ba parang it has to be proven first. Okay. Lita Esplana is watching from Tarlac. Yes. Ophel, confidentiality of the identity must be kept, and fair and respectful conversation must ensue with the person concerned if proven. Yes. Thank you, Ophel, for that. Siyempre dapat may, kasi you don't, pwede kang balikan eh, na alam mo na ang tao ngayon eh. The one who is actually, who did the infraction may rest back, go back to you and telling them that it's it's constructive dismissal, it's you're just a suspect, di ba? Pwede naman, ang sabi ko nga, you let the police do it for you. But the question is, what should the HR or the leadership should do? Is the employee trusted because of relationship and tenure, or is he handling a position of trust? Grace, driver. Actually, the driver of the boss. Constant conversation of the rest of the employees, right or fail? Right. I did that also when I was in Inquirer. If there is something that happened, dapat may constant conversation ka na. Kasi yun nga, di ba yung concept sa namatayan? Yung namatay, aalis na. What really matters are the ones left. Tama si Ophel. And Ophel, you really are a great learning and development, talent and development person. Yeah. Naku, si Ophel is also a consultant and she has been working. Yeah. Constant conversation kasi Ophel, yun na yung concept na what really matters now are the people around, di ba? Kasi that can be emulated. Oo. Okay. So trust building and integrity must be part of the culture. Right. Trust building. And of course, siguro, ito kay where is now my friend si Louis. You must have CCTV so that they will be aware. Para bang, there should be controls. If people are always, di ba? People are people. And then there is always a tendency to do something that if you are in need. But if they see that you have controls, they're aware that you mean business. So, yun nga ang problema. This is an inside job. What do you call that? Can you help me? It's in my tongue. Yung talagang, di ba, that infraction is actually big because it's part of the family. It's part of the organization. May term yan sa law eh. Kasi I'm looking for a lawyer. Na if somebody who did that na within the organization, the infraction or the incident is actually bigger. Okay. So ako, before I'm waiting for your insights, inputs, ako muna doon sa, sabi ko, we have to be careful in sourcing and recruiting people. I did that before. When I was working with Fuji Reynolds, yun na nga, di ba, knowledge, skills, and attitude. Sometimes you just are after the skills. Noon, very bad yung aking recruitment strategy. Sino rito yung mga Bicolano? Latin. Sino rito yung That's how bad I am as an HR decades ago. Diba? There is a line of applicants and I will ask them, how many here are Bicolanos? And then I let them in. That was bad. Kasi nga, yung mga Bicolano, yan yung nakikipag-away, yan yung may nawawala. Okay, Ophel was about to say that it all starts with selecting the right people. Oo nga, Ophel. Directing the right. Even in the association, Ophel and I are with PSTD. Dapat sa PSTD, dapat may interview. In PAPS, we have interview. And I think sa PMAP, may interview rin. They really look into the, anybody here from PMAP? Si Maricor. Maricor, can you help? Di ba sa PMAP, associations, members who would like to join PMAP, they even submit their financial statement, mga ganon. Kaya parang makikita mo talaga, baka fly-by-night itong nag-join sa atin. So even in associations, much more, itong mga small, si Appleman ng Sala dito sa puzzle box, dito sa mga malilik, si Louis. Louis is a merchandising firm marketing firm in Bacolod. Dapat ingat ka kasi ang pagpasok. Ay, ako, Ophel, very careful. The people that I asked to ano, yung on-call na magwalis. Kasi ako ba, burara. I don't know what's the English term for that. Help me. Yung everything, even my mga gunting or everything, it is just there. So, I need that. Ophel was telling me that's why it pays to help managers in targeted selection. Now, Ophel, you were telling something, trust. It all starts with selecting the right people. Hiring skills. Yeah. Yeah. So, yun yan sinasabi ko dapat for HR, yung you have the nose for it. The clinical eye. Kasi, kung even kung nandiyan na, di ba kasi nagsasuspect ka eh. So, yun nga nagkulang siguro. Maribel, sorry ha, kasi we're discussing it. Pero yun kaya siguro kulang ni Maribel at nung boss na they don't have the clinical eye that the person is trusted may do something. Ito yung tinatawag na, you have to know your employees. Diba? Yung charismatic level. Na they look as if they are saintly and they're angelic, pero pala gagawa ng masama. Now, all of us in HR or in management or the leaders, sinabi dito ni Ophel, even leaders, must have that skill. Have that skill. It's actually very, yung parang nagdududa ka. Di ba? The tendency is we have to be a family. But sometimes, nagdududa ka. Nagdududa ka. O di ba, even with family, even with the in-laws. Diba? Diba? Pero, mayroon ba, how can we teach that? Sasabihin na naman ni Femerin yan, you cannot teach that is caught. Diba? That is caught. Okay, so going back, anybody, any thoughts? Any thoughts on what else should Maribel do that there is a case now? Alam mo, hindi pa niya nagagawa na mag-file ng case kasi yung police lang eh. So, para bang on her part, which I did is true, is good, she issued a memo explaining why he is not coming to the office. Ano pang kulang? Maricor, Grace, ano pang kulang doon? Anong kulang doon? And then, she asked the police to help in the investigation. Will she now file a case? Yun ang mga tanong. Yun ang tanong. Can you help me with this? And I will be very happy so that we can share this later on kasi this is a true story. So, ipapasok ko dito, aside from things that you get from the office, it's actually ideas that you get from the association of the office. We'll do that later. Okay, can I have some thoughts before we have the first break? Ano pa dapat ang gagawin ng HR? Okay? Josie, records checks, NBI and police clearance is a must. And with personal reference, right. You are very right, Josie. So, dapat nag-NBI at police clearance. And then siguro, ano ba dapat? Mag-file ng case o dapat mag-inform sa NBI? Pero nandun na sa police. At nandun na din daw sa barangay. Kasi yung barangay na hindi umuwi. But that one of the police, ano lang ng investigation. So, what the police are doing now, yung SOCO, is the fingerprints. Fingerprints. There are organizations that will refrain from filing a case because of the exposure and reputational risk of the company. Right, Grace? Kaya dapat pag-isipan. Kaya sabi ko, this is a nice case. This is a nice case. Ito na yung sabi namin ni Ephemery, washing dirty linens. Especially, Grace, if you're going to place this in the social media. I know of organization na sometimes yung kahit yung away, they post it. Yung sinasabi natin na total online presence, and it does not only affect the person, it affects the organization. Thank you for this very insightful input of Grace Decena. There are organizations who will refrain from filing a case because of the exposure. Kasi kung mag-file ka ng case, it becomes a public. Diba? Pero Grace, 500,000. 500,000. Pero kung tanungin ka ako, di ba? Parang CSR lang. Pero that should be a lesson, di ba? A lesson. But you know, that it's good. This is a good concern. This is very HR. You have to do something internal, but ang ngayon, nami-miss ko si Ritzy. Yung internal and external communication. Very careful for external. Ophel, can you help us here? This is what you call yung risk management. Grace, what you inputted is actually risk management. Ang layman's term ko niyan, ang street niyan, manganganak. Manganganak. Para bang yung pinabarangay mo yung anak mo. Malalaman tuloy na hindi ka marunong mag-seto. Di ba sa Malibay? Noon, yung anak na nakisumama doon sa mga shabu, tapos pinabarangay niya. Tuloy, yung pinagalitan ng pulis, yung nanay, hindi yung anak. Yes, there has to be a balance of compassion and the rule of law. I love you, Maricor. Si Maricor talaga, nako. Maricor, we are really Marian devotees. There should be a balance of compassion and the rule of law. Kasi nagtrabaho na rin. This is the conversation that I would like to have. Hindi ba meron nangyari at ang sabihin mo lang, ipakulong. No. Well, I am going to share this. Kasi this is the mindset that I would like. Of course, there will be some na magtatanong. Naku, Jessie naman. Maricor, maraming sa atin dito. What do you call this? Mag-o-oppose na balance of compassion and, di ba? Pero hindi ba yung human rights? Are you supposed to judge? There was a guest who told us, I think it was Rick Bayaw, na they are doing it already in Texas Instrument. Wala na nga silang yung penalty. It's more of corrective than penalty. Okay, Nako, I'm running so fast. Let's have the first break and then we come back to this. And let's discuss other, what do you call this, business abuse. That falls under business abuse in work ethics. And these are actually yung time and actually yung, what do you call this, yung plagiarism. Yung what is supposed to be owned by the company and sometimes you steal it. Pero let me read some, mayroon pang mga sabi rito. Agree on your insight, Maricor. So, don't live, kasi it is a very nice conversation. Okay, let's have the break, Director J. I have wonderful conversations with what you call faithful friends who are dear to God, to us, gather near to us once more. My friends Ophel, Grace, Josie, love you. Then we have uh, sino pa lang dito? Marami kami ngayon dito. Anyways, let's have the poster direct so that I will invite them. Again, I told you that there will be a break in HR Hotline for Christmas and New Year, but we'll be back January. Then we'll have the next season, ganun pa rin. I will have Grace again as a guest. I will have Ritzy as a guest. And a fan. So yung mga nagkulang, nabitin. Okay, Director Jay, can we have the poster? Yes, I just would like to invite you to look and log on to the page, the YouTube or the FB page of TNC. We have wonderful shows from the big picture up to one day. Okay? So let's come back because ang ating oras. So, yes, do you still have thoughts on the situation? Agree on your insight, Maricor, that there should be a balance of compassion and the rule of law. Alam mo, this is a school of thought. Other HR are more leaning to what you call administration. They will pursue a case. But Grace was giving us a thought that it will be an exposure and it will might be washing dirty linens and putting your skeletons out of the closets. And there comes Maricor, extreme, yung the HR, the heart, that there should be compassion. And I remember Rick Bayo of Baguio was telling us about it has to be more corrective rather than punitive. Okay, so let us discuss, we still have time, other business abuses. Time. Now that we are on distant learning, that we are using synchronous, asynchronous, what are your thoughts of people still stealing time that they're already at home or doon sa face-to-face na the time they were looking for a job, they were really pleading that they be taken in, and now that they are already working, they are slackers. And then you really have to move around to remind them to work. What are your thoughts on this? Because this is actually performance. Of course, for those in meetings, di ba? Ako, I only allow myself to be late up to 5 minutes. Di ba yung Filipino and American time? Di ba yung sabi nga, Ophel once mentioned that to me, that you have to respect others. That's showing respect for the time of others. Di ba? Yes, imagine yung mga meetings that goes on. Is the obligation of the employee to return what was taken away. The compassion and respect of the person can and should be exercised, but it should be clear with the person of the intent of That's all. Person that should be exercised, but it should be clear with the person on the intent of action to be taken by the organization. Right, Grace? I think that is what I missed to advise Maribel. Nasaan kaya si Maribel? Kasi baka naman, kung pwede na lang ibalik niya. Di ba? But of course, cautious na kasi the job is actually working with the boss. Di ba? Pero what is the payment scheme if it is $500,000? Di ba? Can be deductions. Right. So, not for this case. But if something is stealing, there can be compassion. Kaya para bang nasilaw lang sa pera. Kasi, you know, Grace, may kasalanan dun eh. There is also the burden from the other end. Para bang ako, can you help me? I cannot find the right English term of burara. What is the... Ophel, you are better. Saan kaya si Femery? What is the English term of burara? I cannot look for it now. Oh, Maribel, you're here. Thank you, Ophel, for affirmation. Ano nga yung burara? Well, anyway, kaya ba sa akin, burara ako, Kung may mawala dyan, di ako may kasalanan. So that's it. But I think, dapat nga, one is pursue the case, diba? The usual inclination to pursue the case. The other one is to think if you're going to pursue it, if you are going to have to expose the company, and then na parang wasing, di ba? Yung mga blame. And the other one is the compassion. And then what the input of grace is, can it be returned? Can it be returned? Grace, ang tawag nun, scatterbrain. Thank you, Grace. Hindi ko kasi ginagamit na term na yan. Scatterbrain. So, scatterbrain. Diba? Sometimes, if you're loose and scatterbrain, that, there was a time that when I was not here, yung, my plans in what do you call this, in, what is that place? In Manila, nawala. Ang sabi naman sa akin ng pulis, kasi nasa labas. Diba? Sloppy and tidy. Sabi ni Maribel. Anyway, so, yun. So, nice thing na, if something that is, actually, it's an inside job, so, you really have to be very, very careful in how to manage the situation. It's actually risk management. Of course, pursue the case, that there should be a thought of either filing a case kasi it will become public, and also yung sabi ko nga, careful now in sourcing and recruiting, and then what Ophel shared na there should be what we call constant conversation with the people around, because you must be able to siguro dapat invite mo ako Maribel na magsalita doon. Magsalita doon kasi parang it will have a negative and a positive effect on the people around the organization. Okay, now what I'm asking, dear friends, what are your thoughts doon sa stealing time? Kasi we have to, even managers, they do that. Diba? Of course, ang opposite niyan is work-life integration. Diba? Work-life integration. Ngayon na Christmas, it's Christmas time. Is it okay that you have your Christmas event? Diba noon? Yung face-to-face? 2 days, 3 days before the Christmas, ay wala na nagtatrabaho. Nagde-decorate na. Lumalabas na, bumibili na ng pang manito-manita. So what are your thoughts on that? Diba? And then the other one is yung ingredient, or what do you call this? Not ingredient. The recipe of the organization, or even a thought, or even a best practice, that it is copied. It is copied by somebody. I had a lot of experience in training. I think I am the first one who did the balloons. I was doing that as early as 2000. Then I did that in one convention. And after that, everybody was copying it. And I asked my boy to send it. Can you see this? I was doing this, Ophel knew this kasi Judy bought a lot of this. I did this circa 2000. When I was invited by the daughter of Ernie Cecilia to do what do you call this, Christmas fair. And this one is actually the one that I bought a lot of this for the soup. Eh, hindi ko nagagamit, so I planted cactus. Eh ngayon lahat na nagagamit. So, and it's in the family. Even can you see that one of the butterflies that you buy from the Visoria? It's my Lola who did that. I know that because I was in high school and my Lola was teaching in one of her retirement. She did that, and then she even asked my mom to paint in the butterfly, and then she shared that to Gading. I don't know what's the family name of Gading. She has a shop in Daraga Albay. And you know what happened? You cannot buy it in Divisoria. I can claim that it was actually the idea. Because these are the what you call big in Legazpi, what you call the handicrafts. We are used to it. We are used to it. You're used to it. My mom also. My mom is a choreographer. She had this choreography of uh, when she was in high school, and it won. That the girl carrying a baga, and then that it was broken, and after that everybody has that, and it has even become a and also what everybody call that. Marami na tayo. Many employees are not even aware when they are taking time away from the company. Long breaks, personal phone calls, yes. Yes. I know that. I know that Ophel. So, ang ano natin, what should be done? Kasi kasama dyan yung stealing eh. Diyan na nag-uumpisa eh. And then, sabi ni Josie, very good, Code of Ethics and Ethical Standard in an organization must be strictly imposed during orientation and it should be undertaken. Yes, the implementation of the Code of, thank you, Josie. Sometimes kasi ang mga Code of Ethics natin, you just ask a staff to read it, and you just ask them to read it, you do understand, and you sign, let them sign, and it's okay. Part ng Code of Ethics is the time, your commitment. And part of Code of Ethics is not really to steal. The business abuses that you do. Ay nako, for the 5th season, we'll discuss every Thursday business abuses. Kasi actually there are 12 business abuses. And last nyan, civility. It's good that your time slot is during lunch break, or those working in a day, at least they can join even while enjoying lunch. Otherwise, they'll have to seek permission from the manager. I thought of that offense. Otherwise, for an hour to the program, yes. Because I used to work offense in a factory. And factory may time eh. It's actually 7 o'clock to 11. Diba kasi magla-lunch break? Then they start actually nag-extra kami, compassionate 30. Then 12:30 kasi early ang pagpasok. I think that one, very nice. The code of ethics is required. Nako doon sa Maribel, I'm very sorry kasi ikaw Maribel siguro yung ano mo dito, doon sa those left behind, yung mga the one who was witnessing what is happening, ang kaganapan sa loob ng opisina, siguro dapat mayroon kang very subtle way of reminding them of code of ethics. Kasi di ba, the code of ethics are guidelines for your behavior. Must be included in the orientation new hire. Time to celebrate in simplicity, generosity, care, share, rather than usual pump extravagance. Instead of buying gifts, decors, give poor to hungry. Ito yung unang topic natin na sabi ni Marico. Yes. Kasi dapat may oras na you eat a lot of time and it's not anymore relevant for the time. Pero going back doon nga sa stealing in the company of time and of products and of services, it's actually code of ethics. And there should really be a need for people to be aware of that. Ophel is telling us that we need to have a program for it. When I work for a company, my friends know I can only text them back. I know that, Ophel. Sometimes I hate it. Inis ako sa'yo. But I love it, Ophel. I love it. Bakit? You are a woman of integrity. A woman of substance and integrity. When it is actually for this purpose, you are there. I like this conversation kasi it's not only yung stealing. Yung stealing na ano na natin kanina. Maribel, I hope you are reading the chat. I don't know if you're going to be more compassionate, or if you're going to, but there are some thoughts on this, and these are from Season HR. Okay. I have to say Ophel. Of course, Ophel. I have to wait for you to answer back. I was like that before. After HR, I was promoted to marketing and to sales. And there are times that I'm out. I don't know if they are here, my office mates were asking me, are we still going back to the office? And we should. Even though we are empowered to sign your bandy card or to sign your time in and out, you have to come back to the office. It's your commitment. It's your engagement. Now, sabi niya, sir, your things are with us anymore. We have to. Because it's the time. It's the time. Also, the issue using work we created from previous woes. Okay. Sabi ni Ophel. So these are actually business abuses na dapat has to be taken. So, bitin tayo rito. Kasi I would like to discuss this holistically from the process of talent management from the time that you are sourcing and the time that you are actually engaging them, training them. Diba? Alam mo, hindi nga natin napasok. Work created from previous work belongs to the previous work. Right? Pero hindi natin napasok is, malay mo, yung rewards. Malay mo yung di ba, the tendency of people to really be yung loving things too much of yung nasilaw. Because nga, yung decent pay. Or maybe naman, yung, on the other hand, kung doon naman sa tao, nagkulang tayo dun, what do you call that again? Yung the training that you do, financial management. I have that as a module. Then that one of, siguro yung living beyond your means. There should be webinars on that now, especially for the zillennial. You live beyond your means, so that means that your salary, your income flow is not anymore, what do you call that, enough. Your insatiability. Ay, kung di ka marunong matatuwa sa akin si Ophel kasi baka sabihin ko, insatiability. Di ba? So, sometimes, something happened, an infraction happened. You have to look at it holistically. Okay. Inculcating Christ-centric virtues is key to uplift employees. Preventive measure from committing stealing. Yes, Maricor. That is my point. Maricor, ikaw na nagtatapos ng aking aking episode. That is my point. Actually, alam mo, Maricor, aligned ang utak natin. Marian Devote talaga. Yes. Hindi yung punitive eh. Kasi, pwedeng may kasalanan din yung tao, kaya sinagnako. Para bang, kahit sa puso, diba? Para bang, may kasalanan din yung husband or your wife kung nag-go astray. Kasi you're not anymore mindful. Values clarification 2. Personal and corporate values should be aligned. Thank you, Grace. Kayo na nagtatapos hindi na ako magtatapos talaga. For everybody who is who are going to view this, what's up to the last and what's the inputs of everybody here. I love it, Maricor. I love it, Grace. You are concluding it. Inculcating Christ-centric virtues is key to uplift employees. Preventive measure from committing stealing. 1. Values clarification 2. Personal and corporate values should be aligned. That is from Grace. Diba? Kasi, para bang, again, my friends, ang tinitinan ko, yung naiwan eh. Yung witness, yung hanger on ba tawag nun? Yung mga passers-by. Mold the mindset that we are all stewards that we have, including the company assets. Nako, yan ang conclusion mo talaga. Ang mas matalino sa akin si Grace. Grace, mas matalino ka dito sa akin. Mold the mindset that we are all stewards of what we have. Yeah. Yung parang entrepreneurship, yung ownership, yung parang yung paglago ng kumpanya, the growth of the company is also your growth. So, inculcate in that, very corporate ito na, you are stakeholders. Yeah, you are stakeholders of the company. Now, you're not supposed to steal. Alam mo, Grace, I do that with my helpers. I do that with my helpers. So, even the food, sabi ko, you eat that. That is for us. So that hindi sila mag-isip. You know what I did, Grace, ngayon? I bought candies. I forgot what you call that. The jelly Ace. Nako, many, as in 3. Parang Christmas, kasi nakikita na, para bang sabihin na, hindi sila mag-ano, yung parang, what do you call that? Parang, they don't have that feeling of deprivation, that it is there. So there is no tendency for them to, yung parang we eat together, parang maiisip na lang, oh, this pork chop is mine, and this other one is for Berlin. No, he is included. So that, tama ba ako, Grace? Mindset that we are all stewards. So that you will think that the food, the things, di ba? Yung decoration, ay, narinig ko siya talking to the pets, not to play with the decor. Kasi he knows how I regard the decoration. Diba? Diba? Mas matalino ka sa aking, Grace. Do not be humble. Yes. Kasi the mold the mindset. Hindi ko yan naisip kanina eh. Maribel, you should be, kasi what we should be focused now are the people around. Na, yung talaga, na siya eh. But, again, Maricor, I agree. You do not have to condemn the person na itukhang mo yun. No. No. Ibalik sa landas. And that is very Christian. Ibalik sa landas. And then, of course, you can think of other ways. It is more of the legal. How can you repay it? Just last, before we go, I would like to listen to everybody. Shall we terminate the person or not? Sige nga, tingnan ko lang. O yan, overtime na tayo, ha? Shall we terminate the person or not? With all that conversation that we had. Thank you very much. It's very nice. It's very nice. I'm so happy. Grace, amen to the Ma'am Marico, we are accountable in the eyes of the Lord. The reality is the unseen one. What we see is temporal. Be spiritual. Know our standing in the eyes of our Almighty. Josie, nako, very nice, very nice. Na, alam mo, lumalabas yung ating puso rito. The value of integrity and trust must be embedded in all culture and values. Sessions in the organization provide real cases and stories to learn from. Naku, talagang napaka-learning, talent development talaga si Ophel. I will really forward this kasi your posts are really gems. Naku, dapat kayong 4, you should be, speakers. Ay, magawa tayo ng summit dito. Now, gusto ko lang before I will leave, makulit ako. Shall we, kasi, ano ba yung justice ba yon? Yung i-terminate ko kagad, pero hindi na siya pala pumapasok. Oh, end of story. Hindi na pala siya pumapasok. Well, anyway, pwede natin sabihin na siya na he is not, kaya nga suspect na. Anyway, thank you very much. We are already over time. Thank you very much, Grace, Maricor, Josie, and Leo, and Ophel, a lot of inputs from Ophel, and everybody who are here. Let us share this. And so it started the concern of an actual case, but I don't want to discuss it na punitive kaagad and summative kaagad. We have to take this as an HR person, and what I gathered is actually we have the heart from what is very corporate from Ophel, which is aligning and Grace to being what he calls a Christian from Maricor and Josie. I think this is the best thought for Christmas. Kasi sabi ni Grace, joyous and blessed Christmas to all, Jessie and the rest of us. Ito yung ating Christmas, a thought. We are HR, we are leaders, we are consultants, and we take care of people. And it's so nice that I think our gift to us for this Christmas is the thought, very Christ-like, that we should not be summative and punitive, but rather we have to be corrective and let people grow. May habol si Josie. If the offense is in the maximum category, must be penalized for others to fear to commit the same mistake. Management has the final say. What is the one of their siblings? Okay. Thank you very much. I don't like to make my own conclusion. Thank you, Grace, Josie, Maricor, and Ophel. You did it for me. Merry Christmas. And as I was telling, it's our gift for all of us that we put in ourselves concerns, but we have to make Jesus start rest in our own heart. And from that, yes, Josie, let us be guided by that in our decision. Very good. Very fruitful conversation. We'll have this back. I think we'll have this on January 7. I would like to see you on January 7. But be with us next Saturday. It's the end of the season, and we'll have Jairo Mazuda. And it's about, Josie would like to be around. It's about government, HR in the government sector. Very good. Thank you. Hugs to all. Hey, overtime na tayo. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo. Merry Christmas and just marvelous